yeah, whatever Parker brings, I'm gonna be ready for it. I'm gonna be ready to put him out, put him to sleep, and
Tyson Fury recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming heavyweight clash between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker.
Dubois and Parker. I gotta go with my old pal Joseph Parker.
Moreover, Dubois made it clear that he expects nothing less than a dominant performance against Parker. He has been adamant about the level of pressure he plans to apply, vowing to run through the 32-year-old former world champion in 3 rounds. Dubois revealed his mindset heading into the bout, explaining that he feels more than ready to take on a fighter like Parker, who has proven to be a difficult opponent for many in the heavyweight division. Despite his confidence, Dubois remained cautious, acknowledging that Parker would present a unique challenge with his technical boxing style and experience.
I'm not overlooking anything, but I'll be ready for him.
What does he do well, in your opinion?
Wherever he does well, I'll do better. With stronger, wherever he does well, I'll do better.
Seems like you're in a state of mind, whoever's in the opposite corner to you, you don't really care about what they do.
Feeling like I can go through these guys like a train now.
On the other hand, Joseph Parker has undergone a transformation in recent years. After a loss to Anthony Joshua in 2018, Parker shifted his approach to boxing, evolving from a more aggressive, slugger-type fighter into a more methodical and strategic one. In his last 2 outings, Parker successfully outboxed both Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder over 12 rounds to secure points victories. Parker's focus on outboxing opponents rather than going for knockouts has made him a more elusive and difficult target in the ring, and he will need to use all of his experience to avoid the power and pressure that Dubois will undoubtedly bring.
I've always, as a fighter, you want to work hard and you want to fight for the championship of the world, and this is my 2nd time to fight for it, and it's going to mean a lot because I'm doing this for me. Like, I got these goals that I want and that I've set, and I'm doing it for me, my wife and kids, and I want to show the world how good I am, or how good I can be.
In a recent interview, Parker acknowledged the threat posed by Dubois, but also expressed his belief in his own abilities. He cited Dubois' relentless aggression and powerful combinations as significant challenges, but Parker is confident that his speed, movement, and technical boxing skills will give him the edge in the fight. Parker understands that Dubois is an extremely dangerous opponent, but he is determined to prove that he is more than capable of overcoming the challenge. The New Zealander has often been cast as the underdog in his past fights, and he has shown time and again that he thrives under such circumstances. Parker is ready to prove the doubters wrong once more and show that he can handle the best the heavyweight division has to offer.
Credit to Daniel Dubois and how he's turned his career around. Like, I went against him in all 3 fights, and I have to say, you know what? You've done it.
This fight.
Yeah, in this fight, mostly this fight, but he's. I just feel like he's coming in form. And he believes in himself, and he's got confidence, and he's he's putting in the work. But for me, it stops right here.
You say it stops right here?
I feel like his climb back.
Yeah.
He is the champion of the world, so you got to respect that he's the champion of the world at the moment. And my goal is to take that strap off him.
In the lead up to the fight, Dubois has been outspoken about his ambitions to eventually become undisputed champion and take revenge on Alexander Usyk after their controversial first bout, in which Dubois suffered a 9th round TKO defeat at the hands of the Ukrainian. Dubois has been eager for a rematch. Many believe that a win over Parker could set up the possibility of a future showdown with Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight title. However, Dubois has made it clear that his focus is firmly on Parker for now, vowing to knock him out and continue his momentum in the division.
If they get through Parker and that fight's done, I think. Yeah, but it's all about making noise and making, as a world champion, you can sort of, choose your destiny and choose your path now. And I'm just challenging him. In my eyes, I'm challenging him. I want to become undisputed champion and get all the belts. So,
despite his bold predictions, Dubois has faced criticism for his focus on Usyk before securing a win against Parker. Frank Warren has openly criticized his fighter for being distracted by thoughts of Usyk rather than focusing solely on the challenge at hand. Warren pointed out that Parker is a dangerous and skilled opponent, and he emphasized that Dubois should not take him lightly.
Look, Daniel wants revenge from the first fight. That's obviously his motivation. There's no doubt about that. Whether he should have done it, whether it should happen or not. But I mean, how many times have you seen guys ringside? I think Usyk got into the ring when Tyson had a fight at Wembley immediately after the fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
against when Tyson beat Dillian White. So but he needs to focus, Daniel, on one thing, and that's on the 22nd of February. Next Riyadh season fight, when he's got a tough fight and tough opponent in Joe Parker, who's a former world champion and who's on a run at the moment.
While Dubois remains confident in his abilities, it is clear that he faces a significant challenge in Parker, and any misstep could cost him dearly. Warren's comments reflect a growing concern among some in the boxing world that Dubois may be overlooking his opponent and focusing too much on future ambitions.
How concerned are you then when you see him jump in the ring to confront Usyk when he's got his own big test?
Look, he's changed a lot as a person. I mean, you couldn't have got him to bloody come to the venue, let alone get in the ring. He's changed. He's a more positive person, more he's there now, and that's what it is. It happened.
On the other hand, Parker's promoter David Higgins has also expressed strong confidence in his fighter's chances against Dubois. In a recent interview, Higgins claimed that there was no doubt in his mind that Parker would emerge victorious on February 22nd. He acknowledged Dubois' power and skill, but was quick to dismiss the notion that Parker would be overwhelmed by the younger, harder-hitting Brit. Higgins pointed out that Parker had already defeated some of the toughest fighters in the division, including Deontay Wilder, and he believes that Parker's experience and ring IQ will give him the edge against Dubois. He also noted that Dubois may be underestimating Parker, a mistake that could prove costly in the ring.
With regards to Joseph Parker, he's taking on Daniel Dubois. He obviously worked a lot with Joseph over the years, so I've got to ask you, how much of a chance are you giving Joseph Parker against Daniel Dubois?
I think Joseph will beat Daniel Dubois and become a two-time world champion. And I think, no disrespect to Anthony Joshua, like, he did amazing things, but he didn't really want to be in that ring with Daniel Dubois, mentally a bit shot, and I think Anthony Joshua made Dubois look way better than he is.
Higgins' comments echoed those of other observers who have suggested that Dubois may be overconfident heading into the fight. Despite his recent knockout victory over Anthony Joshua, Dubois has not faced a fighter with the experience and skill level of Parker, and many are curious to see how he handles the technical aspects of the fight. Parker has proven that he can box intelligently and use his footwork and speed to outmaneuver even the most powerful of opponents, and Dubois will need to be prepared for a completely different type of challenge than the one he faced against Joshua.
And I think the Dubois camp are feeling unbeatable. I think they genuinely don't give Joseph Parker a chance. Frank Warren and Dubois and the team there think he's going to punch holes in Joseph Parker. That suits us quite fine. We've been the underdog every fight.
Moreover, Higgins reminded everyone that Parker has been the underdog in many of his previous fights, including against Wilder and Zhang, both of whom were heavily favored to win. Parker defied expectations in both instances, proving that he has the heart, determination, and skill to overcome the odds. For Higgins, this is a familiar narrative. Parker has always been labeled the underdog, and yet he continues to rise to the occasion and silence the doubters. As such, Higgins is confident that Parker will once again prove his worth and show that he is more than capable of defeating Dubois.
They expected us to lose against Wilder. Joseph totally outclassed Wilder. Expected us to lose against Zhang. Joseph outclassed Zhang, won nearly every round. So coming in as an underdog against Dubois, who's coming off an easy win against Anthony Joshua, is not a problem for Joseph Parker.
Despite Daniel Dubois' resounding victory over Anthony Joshua, there are several voices in boxing who predict Joseph Parker will be the one to emerge victorious in their much-anticipated clash. Eddie Hearn is among the few backing the New Zealander to win. Hearn believes that Parker has the skills and tactics necessary to overcome Dubois. He argues that while much of the focus is on Dubois' potential rematch with Usyk or another bout with Joshua, Parker possesses the qualities required to defeat Dubois, such as the ability to take the fight deep, a strong work rate, and a reliable chin. He stated, "I think Joe Parker wins. I really do. I'm a big Joe Parker fan. He's a mate of mine. I'm kind of his unofficial promoter. For Dubois, everyone is talking about Usyk or the AJ rematch. Joe does all the things you need to be able to do to beat Dubois, which is take him deep, work rate, have a good chin, keep landing, keep chipping away." Hearn suggests that Dubois, despite his recent surge in confidence, may still be vulnerable when pushed beyond beyond the early rounds. Parker, with his solid conditioning and tactical approach, could very well take the fight to the later rounds and test Dubois' resolve. Hearn further added, Dubois used to have a threshold where he was asked questions, and it used to come after 3 or 4 rounds. Now, because of his confidence, that might come after 7, 8, 9 rounds. You've got to take him there, and then you've got to make Dubois question his heart. Joe is the kind of fighter to do that, so I think he wins. Lawrence Okolie shares a similar outlook on the fight. He believes that Parker's style could present significant problems for Dubois. Okolie notes that while Dubois has power and speed, those attributes may not be enough to overcome Parker's experience and technical skills. He points out that Parker's boxing IQ and his ability to control the tempo of a fight are likely to give Dubois a tough challenge.
I want to get your thoughts on a few things in the heavyweight division. First of all, the announcement that Dubois is defending his belt against Joe Parker. Your thoughts on that fight?
I think it's a great fight, and I like they're really putting Dan in there. You know, fight after fight after fight, hard fights. You know, I think Joseph Parker stylistically could cause him a lot of problems with his speed and experience, and he's been in there with the likes of Wilder and Zhang, who are 2 massive punchers. So it's not like the power that Dan, because Dan's got great power, but it's not something he's never seen before.
However, Okolie does acknowledge Dubois' recent winning streak and growing confidence, which could play a key role in his fight against Parker. Nevertheless, Okolie remains unconvinced that Dubois will walk away with a clear victory, expressing that he would be surprised if Parker doesn't give a great account of himself.
I think Dan's just a bit too much on a roll right now, so I do favour Dan, but I can just see how Parker could just nullify and just work his way to a points decision.
Adam Smith also praised Parker for his preparation leading up to the fight. He highlighted the great shape Parker is in and the quality of his team, emphasizing that all the right elements are in place for a memorable performance. With the backing of his camp and his own determination, Parker seems well positioned to put on a strong showing against Dubois.
Second one. No soft touch here. Joseph Parker's in the form of his life. Andy Lee has been amazing for him. I spoke to Joe on my podcast a couple of days ago, and he is just absolutely bang up for this. He's put a bit of muscle on. He's got George Lockhart with him. He's got Andy Lee. He's got a great team. Obviously one of the nicest people in boxing. Daniel Dubois has got the momentum and the confidence now. It's fantastic being around him. He came back from a holiday in Brazil, super sharp. I saw him on the pads maybe in his first or second training session back, and he looked incredible. So I'm really excited about that fight.
However, not everyone shares the view that Parker has the upper hand. While understanding Dubois' motivation for calling out Usyk after his recent win, Carl Froch expressed concern about how Dubois' actions may have overshadowed Usyk's moment of triumph. Froch criticized Dubois for what he saw as a somewhat disrespectful challenge, given that Usyk had just completed a hard-fought victory and appeared visibly exhausted.
Daniel Dubois jumped in the ring and said, let's get this fight on. I think he was told by Bricktop to do that. Jump in there, make a bit of noise. So Daniel Dubois got in there. I didn't like it because Usyk was tired. He wanted to do his interview, and then he's got Daniel Dubois jumping on. But I understand, he's selling the game, aren't you? Trying to get the next fight. But I didn't like the way he did that. And Usyk's just put in a real shift. He was tired. He was marked up. And he's now having to say, and he actually called it, didn't he? He said, Turki Al Sheikh, let's make the fight happen, let's do it. He didn't back down, he said, let's make the fight happen.
Despite this, Froch recognized that the challenge generated a lot of buzz, and many are still debating whether Dubois will be able to secure a rematch with Usyk in the future. The controversy around the call-out adds an interesting layer to the buildup of the fight, leaving many wondering if it will be just a fleeting moment of drama, or if it will actually lead to a major rematch in the future.
I suppose if Usyk does fight again, that's probably the fight for him. That's the fight that we're going to want to see as fans. But I think Usyk should just go away now, enjoy that win, back-to-back wins against Tyson Fury, who is one hell of a fighter. He's a fantastic fighter.
Derek Chisora believes Dubois' knockout power will be too much for Parker, predicting that Dubois will finish the fight within 5 rounds. Chisora has been vocal about his belief that Parker doesn't have the necessary chin to withstand Dubois' heavy punches. While Chisora's prediction may seem bold, it highlights the general consensus that Dubois' power is one of his most significant advantages going into the fight.
I will tell you what date, but I don't want to get into trouble.
I think we all know what date anyway.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to say anyway.
What do you think about that fight?
Which one?
Dubois Parker, if it does happen.
I think Dubois wins it. You know,
because I don't think Joseph Parker's got a strong enough chin. Daniel hits hard. Daniel hits hard. So I see that fight. Daniel winning 5 rounds.
Amir Khan also favors Dubois in this matchup. Khan has long been impressed by Dubois' raw power and technical ability, noting that he has been following his progress closely since his impressive win against Filip Hrgović. Khan is confident that Dubois will bring his best to the ring and capitalize on his momentum from the Joshua victory. The confidence that Dubois has gained from his recent wins could be crucial, and Khan believes that it will be a major factor in securing a victory over Parker.
I like Dubois, man. Dubois a beast. Honestly, I said that from when he fought against Hrgović. I said that, yo, who is this kid, man? I go, this kid's good. And I remember watching that live, and I like the way he fought and how he puts his punches together and how strong he is, and the way he took those fights apart. Obviously, he's coming off a great win against Anthony Joshua. He's gonna have more confidence. So yeah, I think I got Dubois going in that fight, winning.
Shiraz Adames.
With the February 22nd fight quickly approaching, both fighters are fully aware of what's at stake. For Dubois, a win would solidify his position as one of the top contenders in the heavyweight division and potentially set up a future title shot against Usyk. For Parker, a victory would reassert his place among the elite heavyweights and prove that he is still capable of competing at the highest level. So what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that Tyson Fury can avenge his loss against Usyk? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.